Good afternoon from the Greensboro Coliseum here in Greensboro, North Carolina. UNCG at home getting set to take on NC State. So glad to have you with us here this afternoon. Hi again, everybody. Along with Daryl Koziak, I'm Scott Przwanski. Appreciate you being with us here today. Make no mistake about it, UNCG has had this game circled on their calendar, but you may be a little misspoken, maybe even a little foolish if you think NC State hasn't thought about this game this year as well.
Absolutely. Big game for both teams. UNCG, rare opportunity to get an ACC opponent in their home arena. But for NC State, the last time these teams played, UNCG went down to Raleigh and beat them. So NC State's had this circled also because the ACC tournament's here this year. They want to make sure they leave here with good vibes.
As we look at this game and how it will all play out, styles of play, contrasting styles of play, could be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you can see here both teams, NC State, UNCG, respectively in the tops in the country in offensive and defensive efficiency, respectively. You can see all the stats right here. So really, which team is going to will out on both sides is going to be a giant key to this game.
And as this game plays out for NC State, they will rely a lot on C.J. Bryce. He's a redshirt senior. He knows exactly what Kevin Keatts wants on the floor.
He is. He's their go-to guy. Real great one-on-one player. Dump a lot of ISOs for him. If NC State needs one, he's the guy they're going to throw it to. Mid-range jumpers, will take an open three, but that's not really his game. He wants to get into the lane, so the help side defense for the Spartans is really going to have to be in tune when he has the ball in his hands.
And for UNCG, that means Isaiah Miller. He has been fantastic in the last two games. It all starts and ends with this guy, number one.
Yeah, absolutely. The spark plug, for the Spartans on both sides of the floor. Wants to get all the way to the hole, but defensively, best defensive player on the team, lots of energy. He's going to be a playmaker tonight. If he gets into the hole, it's not going to be as easy against some other opponents. He's going to have to find teammates, and those guys are going to have to hit open shots.
All right, we got Bryce and we have Miller. How does it all come together with our keys to the game you'll be watching for?
Well, you can see, obviously, NC State, they want to get this tempo more to their liking, getting it up and down. They're scoring 82 points a game, so they really want to get after it tempo-wise. This is only their third road game. They had a great victory against Wake Forest here earlier in the week. They got to carry that momentum forward so they build good habits for ACC play. For UNCG, defense without fouls. They want to be aggressive, but they cannot put NC State to the free throw line. And also, NC State has a hard time with pick and pop fours. Kyron Galloway for UNCG is going to make at least 4 threes tonight.
Spartans and Wolfpack set to get after it. Your opening tip is coming up next here from the Greensboro Coliseum as starting lineups being introduced here on a spotlight out inside the Coliseum. Great atmosphere and a gold out here tonight. Can't tell because it's dark right now, but Spartans will be wearing their gold uniforms here tonight. Another way they've been trying to get folks involved in the community, and good crowd here, Daryl. Should make for a great atmosphere.
Yeah, the gold rush going on. You can see tremendous crowd. Both students sections are out, but we've got a great community coming out to watch this game. Going to be exciting.
You see Isaiah Miller coming out on the floor, just went over the 1,000 points for his career in the most recent win at Radford. And, you know, one of the guys that you talked on, but another guy that could certainly have an impact we just saw come out on the floor is Malik Massey, a senior guard who was steadily coming into his own as this young season has progressed.
Yeah, progressively starting to get more and more confidence in his tree. Always good on the ball, really good physically. He's going to be able to match up with NC State that way. When he hits outside shots, it makes things so much easier for UNCG because the Wolfpack are going to give him those looks. If he starts making them play him honestly, that's just going to spread the floor out for everyone else and make everyone else's life on the offensive side of the floor easier.
Lights coming back on here in the Coliseum as we're getting set, and you know, we talk about this series between NC State and UNCG, and it's always great when you can have in-state programs play each other. It's becoming increasingly difficult for UNCG to schedule ACC opponents because of how UNCG has progressed in the basketball world, really. This is the first year in a long time that the ACC tournament will return here to the Greensboro Coliseum. That used to be an easy way for the Spartans to get clubs on the schedule, but Chancellor Gilliam, UNCG, looking on, and he knows it's harder and harder to get these bigger schools to come into this building, even if they have something like the ACC tournament on the horizon.
Yeah, the Spartans past several years have knocked off a few. They've defeated Georgetown a couple of weeks ago. So teams at the ACC, Big Ten, SEC, when they're looking to play down, scheduling a few wins, it's really easy to look over the Spartans and go on to someone else. They don't need us in their life.
So UNCG in their gold uniforms. You see the pack out on the floor, and they'll have Bates set to jump center, Braxton Beverly, and Markel Johnson in the backcourt. And that same five for UNCG that we've seen of late. And again, the Spartans still playing without Caleb Hunter, who's their second leading scorer and for a while second leading rebounder as well.
Yeah, they're really, it's a game like this, they're really going to miss him because he could put him at the 4 and go small and really make Coach Keats and his staff really have to adjust to play out of their comfort level. But let's see how Allegre shapes up out there.
So the Pack have it to start things off, and a good matchup. We'll keep an eye on Miller and Johnson straight out. And this is Bryce. He'll swing it over, and a quick three away by Andre, and he nails it right off the bat.
Yeah, NC State's going to throw it. A lot of different ball screen actions at the Spartans. You can see Galloway jumped up to guard the ball screen, but the weak side four-man popping out to hit that three is going to be a long night of action like that for the Spartans to guard.
Andre shoots 44% from beyond the arc and got his first to go down. Little short jumper by Isaiah Miller falls off the rim, and here come the Pack quickly. Andre has it in the corner, back out front here to Bryce now. Hedges into James Dickey, no whistle they'll play on, and now Johnson with it. Skip pass over one more time. Andre's three is away and good.
The spot up three he wants in the corners. That's his comfort zone. Galloway got out there, long arms, but Andre's going to shoot right over him.
Came into the game 15 of 34 from three and has hit two right off the bat. Making his second start of the season is Andre. Transfer from Lehigh and has the Pack off to a quick start. Malik Massey left open. His three is good.
There it is. I like that. I like that. Now the Spartans can get in their press. They're one of the best, if not the best, pressing team in the country. They got a lot of different varieties. They're going to have to get into this a lot tonight and force some turnovers for the Wolfpack.
Well, you get into the press, it slows things down and then makes you run a little offense here. As Johnson trying to shake free from Massey, he'll drive, kicks it, corner three, same spot, same result. Just happens to be a different player in Braxton Beverly, and Wes Miller is going to call a quick timeout as NC State has made 3 threes, all from basically the same spot here on the floor.
Yeah, Coach Miller didn't like that habit, so he's calling a quick timeout to adjust. It's things they've seen on film and tried to guard, but it's one thing to do it in practice. Got to carry that over to the game. Coach Miller putting a quick stop to that now to try to remind his guys how to guard those different types of actions.
Well, and arguably it's been the two best or most consistent three-point shooters for NC State that have been finding the range, as Andre has made 2 of them and then Braxton Beverly just knocking in that third.
And Beverly was on the team played the last time these Wolfpack and UNCG played, scored 16, had 16 points, 8 assists that night. So he, more than anyone else, remembers what happened a couple of years ago and is looking forward to get a little vengeance tonight.
Yeah. So 3 threes here for State to start things off, and now they'll get into their pressure, and Galloway just does get it to Massey, avoids, and he's got numbers on the other end. Allegre from the corner, his three is off the mark. James Dickey on the offensive glass, up with the left hand, couldn't convert. They'll scramble for it underneath, and last touched by Beverly out of bounds, and good effort there by the redshirt senior James Dickey underneath.
Yeah, a little nervous hands, a little easier rebound than I think he was anticipating. Was rushing a little bit, trying to get control of the ball.
Dickey will dribble handoff here to Miller. He's got the taller Andre on him, rises, little floater is short this time. Markel Johnson away with the rebound. He'll pitch ahead now to Andre. Johnson again off the high ball screen, whips it inside this time. Dunk was mixed. Might have been partially blocked there by Galloway as he got a hand on Bates' attempt.
Yeah, UNCG, one of the best shot blocking teams in the country. Both Dickey and Galloway over 2 block shots a game. Galloway going right there protecting the rim.
He's got 22 blocks now on the season, does Galloway. Allegre tries to turn the corner, goes up with the right hand, missed it, and then a foul will come in on the sophomore Angelo Allegri.
Spartans a little tentative around the rim. NC State has some size inside. UNCG not able to as aggressively go to the rim like they normally are. Manny Bates, number 15, averaging over 3.5 block shots a game.
There's the press and a steal from Beverly. A lob to Miller. Too far, and he couldn't quite get there.
Didn't quite have that timed up. I like the aggressiveness, just wasn't quite timed up right.
And Johnson has the ball knocked off his leg and out of bounds. So back-to-back turnovers by NC State.
You kind of see UNCG trying to figure out how to settle in on both sides of the floor. How's the game going to be called? What kind of level of aggressiveness do they need to play with? They're still trying to figure this out.
So Beverly will check out, and coming in is Devin Daniels, 6'5" redshirt junior. See him on the ball, trapping with Johnson. They'll skip past to Allegri. Turned down to 3 that time, and right back to Isaiah. He'll get in the paint, had it stripped away, turnover by the Spartans. Pack will run, and there is a finish at the rim by C.J. Bryce off a great assist from Markel Johnson.
Yeah, as much as we talked about offensive and defensive efficiency, Isaiah going right in there, attacking the basket. Really, it was going to come down to how does NC State's defense do against UNCG's offense. You know, NC State has their strength offensively, Spartans defensively. The other sides really was going to dictate how this game plays out.
I'm kind of surprised on that last play. I don't think Angelo Allegri realized who he had on him defensively. He could have just turned and scored instead. Kind of maybe going for that home run play as he flipped it back out to Isaiah Miller. And now Miller at the line where he has struggled this year, just at 39%. And he'll have 2 here.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, both Spartans a little tentative around the rim. I think they've seen some clips of the shot blockers, and NC State has got some size on them. So they're kind of looking over their shoulder. They're just going to go up, go through contact, try to dunk everything they have around the rim.
Spartans will go small now. Massey and Allegri check out, and the Langley brothers come in. Keyshawn Langley and Kobe Langley. And Miller makes them both. Tells me to be quiet about his free throw shooting.
And Kobe Langley been hurt for a good part of the beginning of the season. Coach Miller trying to get him more and more involved. This is the earliest I remember seeing him in a game, so he must be really ready to go tonight.
Both freshmen, twins out of High Point, North Carolina. Markel Johnson drives in and a travel. So NC State turning the ball over here on their last couple of trips against a set. The Spartans defense is what they want to do. They want those live ball turnovers, though, to turn them into easy offense on the other end.
I would say so far, though, the Spartans doing a really good job of staying in front of the ball, not allowing many, if not any, direct line drives.
Callaway's pass deflected. They'll scramble for it. Turnover. Here comes the pack. Markel Johnson in transition, surveying. Johnson now will back it out. Has Kobe Langley on him. Skip pass over. Extra pass. This is Bryce. He'll go to the corner to Johnson.
A good rotations from the Spartans that time. Tyler Galloway, hand up.
3 is off the mark.
Good
James
defensive.
Dickey secures the rebound. Keyshawn Langley now the other way. He'll stop and pop for 3. Drained it. So the 3 good for Keyshawn Langley. He comes right back over to check on his brother, Kobe Langley, though, who was shaken up on the other end of the court.
Ankle.
Bothered by that right leg, it looks like. We'll check on his status, but NC State was off to a quick 9-0 start. Spartans have trimmed it back, though, here in the Coliseum. Well, NC State got off to that quick start, hitting their first 3 3-pointers, and UNCG is slowly crept back in it, I guess you could say, and their defense has forced a couple turnovers, and here we stand at 11-8.
Yeah, that's one of the things going for this Spartan squad is they think, and they've proven really that they can play on any court with anyone in the country. We started the year out at Kansas, gave them a game for 2/3 of it. You knew Kansas was going to make a run, eventually threw a knockout punch, but they were right there. Defeated Georgetown, played some good competition otherwise, so the Spartans aren't going to wilt under these lights.
Beverly back on the floor. He'll drive, throws the lob, blocked by Mohamed Abdul Salam, who just came in, and here another turnover for the Wolfpack. Massey goes baseline for NC State. That's their 4th turnover already here in the first half. Massey made 1 triple, misses that one. Ball tipped by Isaiah Miller, but it'll go out of bounds. Set the 5 on the floor for the Spartans. Miller, Langley, Dickey, Abdul Salam, and Massey. And for NC State, Jericho Helms on the floor now. Good to see him playing. He was shaken up in the win at Wake Forest recently, and they weren't sure if he was going to be able to play, but he brings them another body, averages 12 points and 4 rebounds a game. Here's Bryce, who has been quiet so far. He'll force one. Oh, goes to the lob, and another turnover by the Pack.
NC State playing uncharacteristically sloppy. Had advantages to push this out. Spartans doing a great job being active defensively, getting deflections, but a couple of those passes, NC State just threw it right to us.
Dickey operating down low, draws a host of defenders. Langley, another 3. Got it!
Great offense, inside-out attack, extra pass. Now the Spartans can sit up their press.
So the freshman, Keyshawn Langley, with 2 triples to tie it up here at 11. Bryce holds on the wing. He'll drive, lost it on the way up. Another turnover for NC State. Miller in transition, back to Langley. Does he have another one? Missed it.
He check almost. I like the shot, though.
Long hit ahead to Bryce, and his layup is good.
That's a great pitch ahead from NC State that time. Good heads-up pitch ahead.
Langley with Beverly on him to initiate the offense. Trying to get it to Miller on the wing. Isaiah still looking for his first field goal. Dickey flashes middle of the lane, and his little shot put floater is off the mark.
Good cut, good find. Got to knock down those little 6-footers.
Daniels drives, and a whistle will come in against UNCG. That'll go on Keyshawn Langley.
Yeah, he likes to attack closeouts that time. Langley just a step slow, step slow, a lot of balance, easy for me to say. Wolfpack takes advantage of it.
Funderburk and Bryce sub out for NC State. And the Wolfpack just continue to be in the holiday spirit of giving it away. And Kevin Keats can't be happy about that. And Wes Miller pacing the sidelines, likes what his defense has been able to do. Outside of those first couple possessions where State hit those 3 threes, Coach Miller called a timeout, and things have settled down for them defensively since that time.
Yep. Both teams also are tops in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio, but right now you wouldn't know it by watching the Wolfpack play.
Abdul Salam. And another turnover, this time by the Spartans. Good pressure by NC State.
Yeah, Abdul Salam, not really known for ball handling there, put in a position to be a playmaker. Good screen that time from NC State inside.
And Daniels, who averages 12 a game, transfer from Utah, takes it along that left side, and now the Spartans in trouble getting the ball in bounds, and they give it away as Markel Johnson came all the way back for the steal. Beverly open for 3 and knocks it home.
Good teams take advantage of those kind of mistakes. UNCG has to come to the pass, be more secure, and know the press is coming. They've talked about it all week long. Coach Miller with another timeout.
And you see, that's just a long, lazy inbounds play. Kyrie Thompson didn't know the defense was coming, and Johnson with another assist hands it over to Beverly, who's made 2 threes. And for Markel Johnson, he came into this game 6th all-time in the program in assists. And he shows you why right there. 18-11, NC State out in front. So Wes Miller out of the timeout, his club down by 7. And what we've seen is when the Spartans have turned it over, NC State has made them pay.
They have State right now on a 7-0 run, and they get 7 points off of turnovers. And that's the difference in this game right now is off Spartan turnovers. They come to the ball, stronger with the ball. They're going to be right back in this thing.
And again, UNCG having a little difficulty getting the ball in bounds, and they'll Handed over to Massey now. Picked up full court here by Beverly. NC State 6 turnovers so far here in the first half. UNCG with 5. Who can hold on to the basketball so far the story. Massey working off a high ball screen over to Galloway. Shot clock under 10 for Galloway. Got Helms on him. He's going to back him into the paint. Galloway forcing one up. A good defense by NC State. Abdul Salam rips home the rebound, but it'll be a shot clock violation.
Galloway not comfortable facing the basket, putting the ball on the floor. Good defense from NC State, but also not a lot of movement that time from the Spartans. Kind of easy to defend when you're standing around and making 1 or 2 easy cuts.
Isaiah Miller will return for the Spartans and over the top of the press, and Bates had it underneath in great position and forcing a reach-in foul on Galloway.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that this press has been beaten this year, is throwing over the top. A lot of teams don't take that chance. NC State, no problem. When they get a big guy like Bates underneath the basket, they can just throw it up to.
Bates will head to the line to shoot 2. 46% on the year is Manny Bates, redshirt freshman out of Fayetteville.
Good looking free throw. Both of the poor free throw shooters from each team have knocked them down and had them look good doing it.
NC State now with their largest lead of the game at 9. And this crowd, which was hyped up for the Spartans, has gone silent here with 11:35 to go in the first half. A taller Andre matched up here with Isaiah Miller. Isaiah determined to get in, kicks it out to Langley. Shot clock winding down. Galloway will skip pass over, stolen away. Markel Johnson in transition, dunks it home. And NC State opening it up now a little bit. The Pack leading by 11.
The Spartans need to shorten up their passing lanes, come to the ball with a sense of urgency.
Galloway with a rare floater down the lane, missed it, and then Abdul Salam is fouled after the offensive rebound.
Galloway not known for facing the basket that time, but Spartans have to shorten these passing lanes. NC State is jumping them quite easily, getting deflections off to the races. Have to come meet that pass, be strong with the ball.
Galloway subs out. James Dickey comes in for UNCG. Langley to inbound it. Spartans have been stuck on 11 for a long time. Dickey spins, shut off, he'll kick it out. Langley forces a 3. He's missed his last 2, and right now NC State gaining momentum on every possession seemingly. Andre, ball fakes, 3 ball, no good. And UNCG just does save that basketball. Now can they get a bucket on this end? Miller left open, sees a crevice, goes in, lost it on the way up. Langley, or check it, Allegri has it and flips it in.
Not the prettiest of possessions, but sometimes it's just being at the right place at the right time.
22-13 as Spartans settle into their press. Daniels kicks it far side. Bryce lets a 3 go.
Sometimes it's not necessarily a turnover you get out of the press, is you get your opponent to quick shoot. It's an example of that right there. Good contested, nice contesting the jump shot. Easy rebound for the Spartans.
Miller floats one up, good, and he's fouled.
Third time's a charm. It's the third time he's tried that little floater from the free throw line. Having a hard time getting all the way to the rim, but it's a shot he's practiced. Nice screen there, just enough of an angle. Throws it up, a little undercut from NC State. Isaiah back to the line.
So Markel Johnson will pick up the foul. And Isaiah Miller to try to complete the 3-point play now.
Isaiah pointing out the wet spots on the floor, always looking out for his teammates and his opponents. A player and a gentleman.
Preseason Southern Conference Player of the Year. Not that guy right there, but the guy on the line, Isaiah
Well, he
Miller.
could have been the preseason Southern Conference, baseline attendant guy
Yeah, no question
of the year.
about it.
Could have been.
We'll
Could have
nominate him. Isaiah misses the free throw, but Malik Massey slips into the paint to get the offensive rebound. Langley's going to drive baseline. He's been aggressive. Great feed to Dickey.
Great job. Langley really comfortable on the floor. A couple of big shots already. He knows he belongs out there.
Spartans have trimmed the deficit down to just 5 now. Johnson, a whole lot of dribbling.
Ball hawking defense.
Swings it back outside to Daniels. To Johnson. Straight on 3 is good.
All over the rotation. They couldn't get good job from NC State handling that pressure, keep the ball active, and forcing one extra rotation from the Spartan defense that wasn't there.
Another 3 by Langley. Misses it. Isaiah Miller has the rebound to Basalida, who's just checked in. Goes up, missed it. Rebound Miller, and he's fouled.
There we go. Now they're starting to get to the rim a little bit, starting to attack the rim. First 12 minutes or so, 11 minutes or so of this game, Spartans real tentative around the rim, but past couple of possessions really starting to figure out that if they're aggressive, they can get there.
And Isaiah Miller making his 3rd trip to the free throw line now here in the first half.
He's got to make them.
He'll get 2 here.
It's something we've talked about. You can see from that baseline camera angle, you can see his elbow is just sticking out. It makes it much harder to align that shot right to the rim. That elbow is going to be straight up and down. Here, take a look at it here. Watch that shooting elbow. All the kids at home. See how it's sticking out? He has to overcompensate that time, bring the ball back. The elbow's going to be straight up and down.
Gets 1 of 2, 25-18. NC State has led the entire way here in the first half. Daniels kicks it out. Andres 3, clanked that one.
Lucky there. Lights us slow on that rotation.
Miller draws the attention of Daniels. Going to back his way into the post now. Isaiah Miller steps back, floats one up, missed it, saves it, and picked up by State.
That's one he probably would have been better off just eating or throwing, make sure he shot it to the rim or something.
Funderburk drives
in. Oh, good move around. Good move around. Knew Dickey had position, went right around him.
DJ Funderburk, redshirt junior out of Cleveland, Ohio,
Coach
has
Keith,
his first basket.
Coach Keith's trying to fire up his team. He's kind of sensing this is an important part in the game right now. It's a chance for State to really push this to double figures.
27-18. Slip to the basket by Dickey.
Yeah, good idea. There's a little bit too much of a lead pass.
So the Spartans turn it over, and we've got a timeout on the floor. NC State out in front, 27-18 when we come back to the Coliseum. Back inside the Greensboro Coliseum as NC State has found the range from 3 here in the first half. They've had solid looks, great finds, and the 3 ball's paying off for the Pack here.
Yeah, you can see all those shots where Wolfpack players are just wide open, really doing a good job spacing out the Spartans, and then Spartans, too many of those type of plays leading to those type of shots. You're not going to beat an ACC opponent, I don't care where you're playing, with that kind of execution offensively.
NC State 5 of 8 from 3 so far here in the first half. They're shooting almost 63% from the floor overall. UNCG at 33%. Here's a steal. Isaiah Miller. Miller in transition, going to go in, kicked it out and threw it away. C.J. Bryce read it perfectly. And the Spartans turn it over for their 8th turnover of the half. Andre, another 3. He's gone cold after making his first 2. Long hit ahead, and Johnson deflects it away and gets to know some of the front row seats as well as that NC State fan pretty well here in the Coliseum.
A lot of uncharacteristic turnovers and near turnovers by the Spartans. They normally don't run into this kind of don't put themselves in this position offensively where they can make these long passes and just aren't executing. Well, credit NC State's defense with really challenging the Spartans.
Well, the Spartans only turn it over 11 times a game, and they've got 8 already here in the first half. As we approach 7 minutes left to go here in the first. Massey going to try to do it himself. And again, UNCG's offense has gone stagnant. 27-18, Pack out in front. Helms thought about the three and
active hands.
Turned it over. It's James Dickey. Grabbed it away. 27-18.
Nice to see Kobe Langley back in the game, but got knocked out a little bit earlier.
Langley, Miller, Galloway, Massey, and Dickey in gold for the Spartans. Miller forces one up, didn't get the roll.
Galloway's got to give him a better screen, or he's got to use the screen more effectively. Coming off the top of the key, there was no contact made at all. So Isaiah had someone running him out of the basket.
All kinds of difficulty there for C.J. Bryce. No whistle. Now Markel Johnson will settle things down. Over to Helms. Thunderberg. Cross-court pass. Great find. Open three and another made three for NC State. C.J. Bryce knocks one in.
Yeah, NC State, you get any kind of breakdown at all. Caught UNCG in a mismatch there. They're one of the top offensive efficiency teams in the country for a reason. They're displaying it so far in the half.
Well, they make almost 8 threes a game, and they've got 6 already here in the first half. Massey drives in, scoops it up with the left hand, a wild shot. Pack has the rebound, they'll run. Beverly in transition, kicks it out. Johnson will try a three. Wouldn't go down, and Galloway clears it away on the weak side. And now Wes Miller holding up his team. He's going to call a play here from the sideline as Massey brings it into the front court.
Spartans really struggling with any semblance of offense right now. Can't find anything that's clicking.
Massey swings it to Galloway. His first attempt from three is off the mark.
A little bit rushed because they've been really keying on him. Deep three.
As Beverly misses that one. Spartans look a little gassed, except for this guy, Isaiah Miller, who drives down, flips it up, and a reach-in foul on NC State.
Probably a good foul right there. He had a head of steam and just one person to beat.
Markel Johnson picks up the foul. That'll be his second. And a whole lot of new bodies coming in for UNCG's Wes Miller as Langley, Miller, and Dickey all check out.
Well, that's an advantage that the Spartans have. They're a deeper team than NC State. State goes 8 max. Spartans can go all the way to 11 or 12. And Coach Miller has done a good job of rotating guys in all year long, so they're used to playing minutes.
Under 5 to go here first half. Allegri back out to Langley. The Spartans are working around the horn.
You can see the Spartans trying to spread out NC State to get a one-on-one matchup they like.
Abdul Salam will kick it out. Langley open, 3-ball. They need it, and they get it from the freshman.
That's some Houston Rockets ball right there. Isolation, spread them out, try to find one person. This time it was Abdul Salam playing the role of James Harden.
Third made three of the half for Keyshawn Langley. Helms steps back.
Oh, tough shot. That was good defense. Tough shot.
Pushes the lead back out to double figures here at 11. Langley has Helms on him on a switch. Looking down low, instead skips it out to Allegri. He'll try a three in front of the State bench, so the Spartans have made back-to-back threes now.
It's spread out offense starting to work a little bit for UNCG. Now they got to get a couple of things out of their press.
5 made threes here in the half for UNCG. Price steps into one, Massey on him, forced it up.
That's what we want. We want Bryce taking that kind of shot all day long. Called the pop.
Here's Massey, pulls up,
there we
jump
go.
shot's good.
Yeah, that was a different. Galloway set a good screen that time. That gave Massey just enough room. Now he's going to get back on that press.
And again, one of the
gotta get
second or third time the Spartans haven't gotten back. And NC State makes them pay.
Good job by Coach Keats and the staff scouting that one out, really attacking. It's only going to work once or twice. You know, Coach Miller's going to talk about it here and at halftime.
So Manny Bates will have a chance at a three-point play when we come back here to Greensboro. (34-26). NC State has led the entire way here in the first half. Pack is led by as many as 12. UNCG just cut the lead in half, down to 6 after scoring on 3 straight possessions. But NC State hasn't really been bothered by the press, and one of the times they've used it to their advantage right there is they went over the top, and Manny Bates now will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. But NC State 6 of 13 from 3 here in the first half, and their hot shooting has been the difference here so far. Both teams turning it over 8 times, but NC State shooting 56%. You see the Spartans at just 36%.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big difference there. When Wolfpack are turning it over, Spartans aren't doing much with it. But NC State's scoring about every time UNCG turns it over.
Galloway
there it is.
Rips home a 3.
There's one. Got to get at least 3 more.
Now Spartans now have made 6 threes, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. So both teams not known for their 3-point shooting necessarily, but both making them. And here's a bump on Allegri, just the 5th team foul on Coach Miller's group.
That's a good job by Braxton that time, just pushing it down, seeing that he had a half a step, drawing that contact.
Foul on Angelo Allegri is his 2nd, so he'll depart. Isaiah Miller comes back in. 35-29, 2:50 left to play here, first half. And
here we go. Nice dribble handoff.
Daniels.
Yep. Reverse pivot at the same time he handed it off. Didn't get established. Good call by the officials. It's one of those points of emphasis this year they're looking for.
6th team foul on NC State. 2nd personal on Daniels. So Isaiah Miller, just 1 of 5 from the floor for the Spartans. Has it here right now. Bryce on him, back to Galloway. Another 3 is good.
There's 2. Pick and pop forced. Wolfpack struggled with. Coaching staff unhappy right now.
And the lead has been trimmed down to just 3. Kyrin Galloway knocking home another triple. Spartans on a late run here, trying to close out the first half. Forced shot by Bryce. Fell in.
Oh, wow. Just throw it up. Hope something good happens. My goodness, watch this. Abdul Salam playing D as best he can, moving his feet as best he can, but just a little too quick by Bryce. Just throw it up and see what happens.
C.J. Bryce, a redshirt senior, recognizing he had a bigger guy on him, maybe not quite as mobile, and he drew some contact, throw it up, see what happens.
That's his game right there. That's what he wants.
Bryce now with 7 points here as the pack and the run for the Spartans. Lead stretched to 6 here as we approach 2 minutes left to go, first half. Langley will clear away Miller.
NC State doing a lot of switching off Miller, really giving him a hard time.
Dickey
getting open.
Trying to post up on Helms, gets into the paint, goes up with the left hand, didn't have the angle, goes up again. Ball finally knocked away and out of bounds. Last touch by NC State.
Yeah, Dickey's rushing underneath. I think he's so concerned about getting his shot blocked that he's not taking his time and getting a good angle. 1 second on the shot clock. I think the officials are going to take a peek. Gives Coach Miller an opportunity to draw something up.
They're going to check it out and see if maybe the shot clock can be reset here or if it's going to stay with 1 tick. But 38-32, Spartans had cut the lead down to 3, and an important 1:43, I think, left for both sides here as we look and see if we can tell where this shot clock maybe should be.
Dickey had a chance to come down with it there and go right back up. Yeah, unless the ball hit the rim somewhere around the way. It's at 1. I think that's what they're checking to see. Did the ball hit the rim? They were setting it to 18, so they're saying yes, the ball did hit the rim. A couple seconds ticked off as it went out of bounds.
Good review by our crew here today. 1:43 left, and back to what my point was. This 1:43, I think, is going to show which direction this game potentially could go. Can NC State extend that lead again as they've been apt to whenever the UNCG makes a run, or can the Spartans here keep it in that 3 to 6 point range. Give the ball to Isaiah Miller. Miller surveying, will spin away from the double team, comes back to the middle to Langley. He's ready to shoot. He'll fire another one. Got another one!
So smooth. Little fist pump right there. You know he's feeling it. Little head and shoulders fake. Adjust to the left.
Good find by Isaiah Miller. Langley.
A heck of a freshman right there.
Yeah, 4 of 7 from 3 here in the first half. Lead cut in half, back down to 3. Inside, Dickey goes up high. Here come the Spartans to Miller, goes up, couldn't finish.
There it is!
Galloway flushes it home.
Now the Wolfpack on a timeout.
Crowd loves it. Here in the Coliseum, James Dickey with the block leads to the transition bucket on the other end.
Let's see here, good defense. Trying to guard that ball screen action. Dickey right there. He's straight up and down. Spartans off to the races. One-handed fine, but don't give up on the play. Run the floor, big fella. Go get you some.
Kyron Galloway dunks home the miss by Isaiah Miller, and a 1-point game here with 1:02 left. And the banana guy likes it.
Banana guy. Golden banana guy. Gold rush here at the Greensboro Coliseum. Spartans on a run.
So it started with the 3 by Langley. Defense leading to offense for UNCG. After that 3 by the freshman Langley, and now under a minute left, NC State is led by as many as 12 here in the first half. Helms had a notion. He'll kick it back to Beverly. He's got the taller Dickey on him now.
Dickey's played a clean half. Let's see if he can keep it that way.
Shot clock under 10 now for Beverly. He's going to drive it in, draws the defense, kicks it out. 3 ball off the mark by Daniels. And UNCG now will bring it into the front court, trailing by 1. About 5 seconds separate game clock and the shot clock here to close out the half. Miller's going to come grab it.
Coach Miller wants him to go at 7 on the clock. Whatever happens, Spartans have to get back on defense before the half expires.
Price trying to D up Miller. Miller in, rises, fires, still can't find the range here. State with a chance. Helms with 3, now with 2. Gets it to Bryce at the buzzer, and it spins out.
All right. I think a little miscommunication between Langley and Miller that time on that last play. I think someone was expecting to be someplace else. Either way, that's how you close a half if you're the Spartans.
Well, the Pack led by as many as 12 here in the second half. The Spartans hang around, go on a late run. And after the first half of play here in Greensboro, NC State with a 1-point lead. Halftime on the way after this. Back at the half here inside the Greensboro Coliseum, NC State has led the entire way. A 1-point game here at the break. Pack led it 30-18 with just about 7 minutes or so left to play, and UNCG closes on a 19-8 run as they trail it here by 1. And really, 3-point shooting for both clubs has been the story here in the first half.
Yeah, both teams took a little while for the Spartans to get going, but once they did, led by Keyshawn Langley, 4 out of 7. They really got going. NC State started hot, but the last 6 or 7 minutes, Spartan defense really got to them, started to wear them down, and started dictating the tempo a little bit more their way.
So ball going in from beyond the arc for both teams, maybe uncharacteristically if you look at how they've shot consistently throughout the season from beyond the arc, but turnovers as well. Both teams turning it over more than they usually do. And then, trying to convert on the other end has been what the methodology has been for UNCG this season, and the same for NC State. Who can hold on to the basketball maybe in the second half will be something to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, NC State really fell into the trap of some of that Spartan pressure, some deflections, some diving in the passing lanes, but UNCG, there's really some carelessness on their part, not coming to meet the ball, not crisp with their passes. That's something the Spartans have to tighten up here at halftime.
NC State overall shooting about 54%, 54% in the first half, I should say. The Spartans right around 41%. 38-37, State by 1. Welcome back inside the Greensboro Coliseum. We are at the half. NC State out in front of UNCG by 38-37, and happy to have the Chancellor here at UNCG, Frank Gillum, step by here and join us. And Chancellor, you're always a frequent visitor here in the Coliseum for ball games, and I know you would like to play analyst sometimes as well.
Or at least coach.
What'd you see out there in the first half?
Well, I thought we didn't come out and match their intensity for the first several minutes, but I didn't think they could continue to shoot at that pace.
Right.
And once our kids sort of understood they had to ratchet it up, we started to get a ball game.
Yeah, and we certainly have it here, a one-point game. Athletics can be such a big part of a university. What have you seen from the basketball program in terms of the recent success here in the last couple of years, how that translates over into the university in general?
Well, of course, Coach Miller is a good recruiter. He knows talent, but he's got his kids to buy into what's rare in college basketball, and that's defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got kids that are willing to play defense. And I'm around the team a fair bit, and they're a group of good kids.
Right.
So he's managed to get good kids. They're doing well in the classroom, but they're committed to doing the hard work of being a defensive team.
Right. When you see the success of your programs across the board, how does that translate, whether it be new students coming in, new interest to the university, and overall what you're able to do on campus?
Well, of course, athletics is one entrance into the university.
Sure, yeah.
It's an introduction to the university. So intercollegiate athletics helps in that regard. We've had a lot of success across the board, whether in men's golf or softball or baseball, and of course men's basketball. And I think it's brought in, as you see by the turnout of the crowd, we're starting to generate some buzz. Right.
Now, I know you're a guy that always has big ideas, and you're always putting together what's next for UNCG. So tell me, what's on the horizon here for this university?
Well, we would hope that the legislature passes the budget. We have a fairly large item in there to renovate and expand our library. Nowadays, libraries are what we call knowledge commons. They're not probably what you and I think of.
Right.
You go in and check out a book. It's the most used building on our campus. We'll open our new nursing and instructional building here next year, and very excited about that. And we have a few tricks up our sleeves. Look for some activity along Tate and Gate City. Mm-hmm. We're laying some plans there and introducing new degree programs. We've met all of the metrics the system set out for us, exceeded them. So we feel that we're heading in the right direction, but it's tough on all institutions of higher ed today.
Right. Well, Chancellor, I know you always have some tricks up those sleeves of yours, so
we
look forward to it.
Keep them guessing.
Appreciate you visiting, as always, with us.
Thank you.
1 point game here at the half. Back with more after this. One point lead for UNC, or for State, I should say, here at the half. And both teams shooting the basketball well from three, no question about it. Let's check out some of the highlights, and that's how State started it off. Little pick and pop, and when they go inside, they kick it outside, and the open three ball's been working for them here, Darryl.
Really early on, taking advantage of Spartans not being able to rotate, but led by Keyshawn Langley coming off the bench. Really led the Spartan attack, kept them afloat in the game for a little bit, but then got the momentum going on both sides. When you see that little fist pump, you know things are rolling for him.
Langley 4 of 7 from three. Kyren Galloway able to knock in a couple as well. And the Spartans, when they have held on to the basketball and been able to set up their defense and not allow State to get those early opportunities, they've been able to create something like this.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you don't turn it over for both sides. 17 combined turnovers. Let's see which team cleans this up in the second half. Most likely they're going to be the victor.
Set to start the second half. When you come back, 1 point game here in Greensboro. Good set here to start the second half. What's a couple things you'll keep an eye on here, Darryl?
Well, definitely the turnovers. Which team cleans that up is going to have a huge advantage. And another thing, looking at the stats, we kind of see it play out a little bit. Spartans 10-0 on the offensive boards. They got to continue going to the glass. NC State, part of that is they've been shooting so well, but they haven't really sniffed that either. So UNCG being persistent, getting 2 and 3 looks out of each possession is going to help them, help their offense wear down NC State.
Galloway will quickly pop for a three, missed it. Rebound, Dickey hustling on the deck, grabs it, and he'll call a timeout and is secure the possession. You like the effort there by Dickey, but Spartans will burn a timeout here early. They got the look they wanted from Galloway, and got a timeout here on the floor here, 38-37, and we'll be back after this. All right, we'll come on back here, 38-37. And UNCG with possession, looking to get a bucket here, maybe their first lead of the game.
Try to reset, start over.
You know, Isaiah Miller there, looking at him with Bryce on him. Isaiah just 1 of 6 from the floor here in the first half. See if the Spartans can get him some cleaner looks as Massey has his jump shot blocked by Bates. Again, Dickey helping to keep the ball alive and earn another possession. Isaiah's going to go outside for three and knocks it in.
Wasn't expecting that one. A line drive shot there. Defense went underneath. He said, okay, clock winding down. Let me get it.
Well, Isaiah was 3 of 7 from 3 in the last game at Radford, and Spartans have their first lead of the game here at 40-38. Johnson going to drive in, lost it, and travel.
Good help. Good help from Isaiah Miller, causing the confusion. A little double step there.
Well, Johnson, who's usually so sure-handed with the basketball, now with 4 turnovers. State has turned it over 10 times. Spartans by 2.
Well, Coach Miller called the play. NC State knows what's coming. Let's see what happens.
And Massey just about threw that one away. Spartans avoid disaster. Galloway going to crank one from deep.
Why
Got
not?
it!
It's exactly how Coach Miller drew it up. Exactly. Including the fumble and the kick and the... You know what? Sometimes the great ones just know how to draw it up.
Galloway with 3 threes now. The Spartans 43-38. Andre to answer, and he does.
Big shot. That's his comfort zone right there. Galloway had to protect the rim just a little bit longer than we would have liked. Andre is a great job at NC State taking advantage of what was there.
Andre with 3 triples of his own. Allegri battles his way in. Dickey from the baseline.
There it
off
is.
the glass.
Go straight up with it. Don't go straight up, and go straight up quick with it. Get back, Galloway. You throw it to the rim. Watch the rim.
Bryce doubled. He'll kick it back out to Markel Johnson. Over to Beverly now. Spartans attempting a double team. Andre again along the baseline.
Oh,
hits another one. Well,
He's
just
tough.
like he started off the first half, he makes 2 triples.
Tough. Battle of the pick and pop force.
Boy, he has been on the mark. 44% three-point shooter. And a 1-point game. Bryce on Miller. He'll go to the left. Inside to Dickey, turned it over. Good defense by the Pack on that possession. Beverly.
Stop ball.
Little hesitation, rejected
Go get
by
it.
Galloway.
Go get it. Oh.
Just couldn't quite run it down.
I'll tell you, that's the, I think the biggest improvement Galloway has made this year to last. Now, he was making threes last year, but his growth as a rim protector this year. You see help side going right up to get it. You know, 6'11" certainly helps, but he didn't have those instincts prior to this year.
Galloway now with 23 blocks on the year. He's got 2 here today. Beverly trying to give the Pack the lead back here.
I'll say a good ball pressure that time, defeating that ball screen.
Johnson squeaks by Langley, pulls up, jump shot is good.
Tough shot.
So NC State answers the early run by the Spartans to take the lead back.
Good one-on-one playing.
Langley working off the screen from Dickey. Loops it cross court to Miller. He's made 1 3, misses that one, and a rebounding foul will go on the sophomore Angelo Allegri.
Yeah, that time Isaiah, a little agree. I think a little shot fake that time, put it on the floor, keep the offense flowing would have been the way to go.
Well, Allegri now has picked up his 3rd. here with 16:36 to play, so he'll take a seat. And Coach Miller will go small now as Kobe Langley comes in.
I think a little eye poke that time as Dickey was trying to swipe at the ball. Inadvertent, of course.
Beverly.
Dickey gets a little quick timeout for UNCG.
Beverly a little shaken up.
What are we doing here? We got a timeout or what? We got music playing. The referee stepping in. Coach Miller always finds an opportunity to sneak in a little 5-second huddle here and there.
See what happened there to Beverly. It was, again, really inadvertent there. Like Dickey maybe got a piece of him, but no whistle, no play on here. 16:30 to go. NC State by 1. Spartans had took a quick 5-point lead here to start the second half, but NC State did not panic. And now Johnson straight on three is no good. Underneath, who touched it last? A Spartan player, and the Pack will have it.
I was just about to say, haven't seen or heard a lot from Markel Johnson so far in this game. I think he's starting to feel like, you know, he's going to get his team going.
Well, he had those 2 personal fouls and was struggling a little bit. They sat him down, and here Bryce fouled as he cuts to the lane.
A little curl action off the out of bounds. It looked like Kobe Langley was straight up and down, but maybe he jumped into him a little bit.
Langley picks up the foul, and at the line will be C.J. Bryce. Leads the team in points per game at almost 16 and rebounds at almost 7. Transferred from UNCW where he played for Coach Keats. And have another solid game here today.
Yeah, he's a guy that just knows how to get to the rim, when to go one-on-one. Really good basketball IQ on the offensive side of the floor.
So a 10-2 run for NC State here to take the lead back. We've gone 4 minutes here into the second half. Miller inside to Dickey and lays it in.
That time they were so focused on Galloway that time. Dickey had a few seconds underneath the basket to get settled.
Langley picking up full court on Markel Johnson. Johnson can be so quick with the basketball. Gets away from the apparent double. He'll keep it down the lane all the way in and lays it in for 2.
Tough shot. It's just a tough shot from a tough player. Langley beat him up, beat him to the spot, still powers his way through.
Johnson with 4 here early in the second half. 3-point lead for State. Miller behind his back. He'll pull up. Jump shot not there. And a foul will go on Galloway trying to hit the offensive glass.
Yeah, Isaiah struggling right now, trying to figure out what he needs to do offensively to get going. He knows his team needs him. Hasn't been able to figure it out yet. You can see there, Coach Miller coaching him up. We'll be back.
Well, we've only played just about 5 minutes here in the second half, and we've already seen a string of runs on both sides. The Spartans started off the half down by 1. They quickly built a 5-point lead, and NC State now answering that, and they have extended what was their 1-point lead at the half now to 3, and a good effort by both clubs coming out of the locker room, but I think especially Coach Keats' club to answer that early run by the Spartans and Coach Miller and staff and not panic, and now holding a 3-point lead.
Yeah, you can really tell Markel Johnson trying to get it going, putting the team. He's got a little bit of length, a little bit of size against the Spartan guards, trying to put that to good use. Let's see how UNCG adapts with his penetration, gets over there to help, but still have to recover the shooters. That's what makes NC State so dangerous offensively.
Spartans nearly forced the turnover. Andre to inbound it. Gets way here to Bryce. Spartans will run and jump on the trap. NC State ready for it. Now Beverly will back it out into the hands of Johnson here.
Nothing else. Now they start their offense with 15 seconds left.
Out to Beverly. He's open. Spot up 3-point shooter, and it's drained. Braxton Beverly shoots 43% from beyond the arc and knocks home another one here today. Now 3 of 4 shooting threes. Dickey will be one-on-one with Andre. Backs his way in, up with the jump hook.
Nice. You could hear from the bench, stay home, don't double. They're going to allow Dickey just to back it in. He's got a nice touch, turning over that left shoulder.
Well, and one of the things you were talking about in the first half was him not rushing it. He realized he had some time there. Just shot it right over the top of the 6'8" Pat Andre. 53-49 NC State. Johnson keeps it in his hands, goes back to Beverly. Another 3 ball, missed this one. Abdul Salam, who's just checked in, corrals the rebound.
The State is so good at doing a lot of different actions to get drive and kick opportunities. They do that so well.
Kobe Langley will start the offense to Massey. They'll go back inside to James Dickey. Backs his way in on Bates, goes up, jump hook good again.
One-on-one, Coach Miller recognizing what State is doing. Go right back to Dickey inside.
Well, James Dickey not known as a scorer, but he's improved his offensive game from last year to this year, and he scored 4 straight to cut the lead down to 2. Johnson again, inside, outside. 3 ball by Andre is good.
That's so tough. You know, UNCG almost has to put a stay home on Andre. Every time he's open, as he's hit it, no one can help off of him.
Well, he's now made another 3, 6 of 8 from 3. 56-51. Dickey will kick it out this time. Langley, skip pass to Massey, one more to Kobe Langley. His 3 is no good. Dickey on the offensive glass goes up and had it blocked away.
3 seconds on the shot clock that time, plenty of time to get something good going.
NC State will bring in 3 new players as you get a look at the redshirt senior James Dickey. They talk about his basketball IQ as a center. He knows everybody's position on the floor. Actually had him run some point guard some in the offseason.
He can handle the ball up the floor if he needs it. There
Here's
it is.
The lob to Miller. Lost it. Abdul Salam goes up. Had it blocked from behind one more time. And did it go in? Or shot clock violation? And Wes Miller really hot. There. He wants a foul called.
You can see he's hot. Not quite enough.
Really working over the crew.
Got to adapt. Got to get back on D now. Settle in.
Stay at 56-51, 12:40 to go. Johnson shakes, steps back, fires a triple, and got it to go.
Tough looking. You know he wanted to take over. Doing his best so far.
Pushes the lead out to 8. Johnson has been aggressive here in the second half. Dickey back to Massey. And now into the hands of Isaiah Miller. Dickey calling for it. It's got the smaller Bryce on him. Skip pass out to Langley. He's been hot. His 3 spins out this time. Funderburk away with the rebound, and NC State chance to go up by double digits now. Yeah, Johnson, see if he gives it up. Gonna keep it. Johnson down the lane, throws the lob to Funderburk, and he dunks it home.
Good play.
Markel Johnson feeling it now. Langley hits the deck on the inbounds play. A near disaster for the Spartans as the lead has grown to 10 now for State.
Right now, Markel Johnson kind of has the ball on a yo-yo right now, off dictating all the offense.
Dickey powers his way in, goes up again, and this time draws a foul on Funderburk.
Right now, Markel Johnson orchestrating the Wolfpack offense. Every note he's playing is sounding wonderful to NC State.
11:35 left to go in the half. Johnson down the lane. One-handed lob, and the Pack lead it by 10. Well, over the last 2.5 minutes or so, NC State on an 8-0 run, and they have pushed the lead out to 10. And State led by as many as 12 in the first half. Spartans came clawing back, and if you're a UNCG fan, you're looking for the same answer here now.
Yeah, right now, NC State, Markel Johnson, 7 points, 3 assists. In the second half alone, he's pretty much had a hand in every single basket Wolfpack has scored. UNCG is going to find a way to contain him and then rotate out the shooters. Teams all year long have been struggling to do that.
Meanwhile, James Dickey has turned it up offensively for the Spartans with 7 points in the second half. Isaiah Miller has the offensive rebound, goes up, just cannot get the ball to drop through the hoop. Isaiah now 2 of 10 from the floor. Johnson squeaks by Miller, goes up, layup is good.
Good hesitation that time right now. I think he's in Isaiah's head just a little bit.
63-52. Johnson has taken over this game for NC State on the offensive end. Whether scoring or passing. Abdul Salam in trouble out there. Finds an outlet in Dickey. Shot clock under 10. Dickey now doubled. He'll have to swing away from it, and a foul will go on DJ Funderburk.
I wasn't going anywhere that time. NC State kind of bailed the Spartans out.
Dickey will sub out as Kyron Galloway comes in. It's now 2 team fouls on State. 3 have been whistled against UNC-G. Miller all the way into the backcourt. Just they've been running different bodies at Isaiah Miller. Hellam's guarding him now. We've seen a variety of different players on him. Abdul Salam goes straight at the rim. He lost it on the way up. Nice hit ahead to Daniels, scoops it up and in, and NC State opening it up now, 65-52.
Like to take from Abdul Salam, but not quite his game yet to go all the way and finish. It's going to be a little bit stronger.
Massey thought about it. Now he'll back it out. 15 on the shot clock. Abdul Salam down low. Trying to work on Funderburk. Single coverage, goes in, up, and dropped it through.
So it's old-fashioned bully ball right there. A couple of bigs banging each other inside. You don't see that a lot anymore.
Spartans in their press. State has handled it pretty well all afternoon long. And after turning it over with some frequency in the first half, State has managed to hold on to the basketball here in the second, mainly due to this guy. Johnson misses the 3, rebound down to Allegri.
Really close to being a foul that time.
Massey's going to drive in, had it swatted away by Daniels. And a technical foul will go on
what a terrible
NC
tee.
State.
What a terrible tee. Had the breakaway.
So Devin Daniels picks up the technical foul. See if he says something after the block or not. Gets the block. And turned around and said something back to Massey right in front of the official.
Good job by the officials, just jumping on that right away, not letting it turn into anything. They got to be smarter than that, though.
So Galloway at the line to shoot the technical free throws. Kevin Keats is going to bring over Markel Johnson, and that's a word with the officials as well, as Galloway makes good on the technical free throws. And again, you're right, NC State was rolling the other way off the turnover.
Let's mark that down to see if that turns anything. That's really a 4-point swing right there, because NC State was going to go throw it down.
And Kevin Keats going to get his money's worth after that technical foul on Daniels, talking with Brent Hampton.
Spartans going zone. So Wolfpack bringing Andre back in the game. Let's see if Coach Miller gets out of the zone. Yep, immediately goes back to man.
Andre 5 of 7 from 3. Got Beverly on the floor who can shoot it also. And so Spartans will go back to man here. Johnson has Langley on him, swings it out to Andre. You see how close Dickey presses out on him. Johnson hasn't been shy in the second half, maybe forced that one. Yeah. Spartans will run. Langley looking for an avenue, gets by Beverly, and a foul will go on Braxton Beverly.
Way to push it by Langley that time, under control. Kind of playing into Beverly that time, trying to get the contact, and Beverly obliged.
Beverly picking up his first personal foul. Short breather for Isaiah Miller, who comes running back in. He'll sub in for Malik Massey. 9:13 to go. NC State leading here 65-56.
Referees having both teams huddle. Not really sure why.
I think one of the things Roger Ayers was saying to them was, huddle up. I want you guys to stop talking. It's getting a little chippy out here.
That's smart.
I'm just letting you know. Talk
smart.
amongst yourself here real quickly.
That's
Let's shut it down after that.
vet officials move right there. We don't need anything like that to get into this game.
Quick move by Miller, goes up with the left hand, still can't finish it. Runs down the loose ball. Miller again in the paint. He'll try again.
Keep trying.
This
Keeps
time,
going.
he gets it to go down.
Keeps going. Sometimes you just need to see that first one go through the rim. I know he hit a three earlier, but that's not his game. His game is around the rim in the paint. Let's see what this does.
65-58. Bryce, quick move to the baseline.
Good closeout by Dickey that time, on balance, keeping him in front.
Spartans will go zone on this trip. Bryce flashes to the elbow, turns and fires for two.
That's his game right there, mid-range, mid-range.
Bryce with 14 now. 67-58. Miller posting up on Bryce. Now Bryce is 6'5". Miller's a healthy 6 feet. Goes up, forces it, gets it to go, and draws the foul.
You can hear the bench saying, stay down. Bryce has some size on him, but Isaiah Miller's got some strength.
And that vertical leap of Isaiah.
Watch this, ISO, action away. Dummy action, just powers through. Gets it to go.
Well, Isaiah trying to get himself going a little bit now. And
oh, careful.
At the free throw line.
Trying to get him, this crowd, the team going. Knows it's go time. If Spartan's going to make a run, they've got to start doing it now.
67-61, 8:05 to go. A deflection by Miller. State will keep it, though. Beverly calling for the screen, gets it. Swings it back to Andre inside to Funderburk, and the big fella all alone stuffs it home.
Yeah, Galloway tried to go for a steal, then rotate out too late. It's a great read from NC State. Just good offense every single time down the floor from the Wolfpack.
Miller now with the switch has Beverly on him. He'll back his way down on Beverly. Turns, goes up with the left hand.
Left.
So Isaiah Miller trying to take over. He scored 6 straight. Crowd trying to get into it.
Spartans got to get some stops.
7:15 left. There's the double. Beverly away with it. Now over to Daniels. It's becoming a half-court game as Daniels drives it in with the left hand. Good, and he's fouled. Devin Daniels, a redshirt junior, telling the bench, calm down, I got it here. And a big bucket for the Pack as they've had an answer for the Spartans who were trying to go on a run. Here's Daniels again, curling, draws contact. Well, we've talked about the struggles offensively for Isaiah Miller of UNCG, but he's just determined, just keeps coming at you. And like you said, gets one to go through, then he made his next two.
You can see Coach Miller was watching the game and saw how Isaiah was having a difficult time going from the perimeter to the hole. So now he's just posting Isaiah up, backing him down. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Isaiah going through NC State, not having to come all the way from the perimeter, getting the ball to paint, going up and in.
So the Pack led by as many as 13 here in the first half. The Spartans cut it down to 6. But NC State, every time the Spartans are going on a little run, have had an answer on the offensive end of the floor for what Wes Miller's trying to do defensively. And NC State shooting 64% for the game. When's the last time a team shot that well against UNCG, a team which is holding opponents to right around 42% on the year?
NC State executing well. And to their credit, knocking down the open shots that they have. You got to feel good about this if you're Coach Keats and the staff. Come ACC tournament time, they're feeling really good about shooting in this gym.
Allegri back
nice
on the
play.
floor, and he answers with a 3 of his own.
And now as he started attacking the rim, now he can draw help get all the red jerseys focusing on him. Now he's going to find open players. Those guys got to knock shots down. Good job, Allegre.
Can the Spartans get a stop on this end? Bryce might have traveled, kicks it to Andre. He'll let one ride, misses it. Miller has the offensive rebound. Here's Isaiah Miller, crafty down the lane. Got it, and he's fouled.
And the left. NC State may have opened up a bottle of lightning.
So Isaiah Miller at his best here in transition, Darryl.
He's right-handed, but go all the way to the left. NC State was taking away his right, giving him the left. Isaiah said, all right, let me show you what's up.
So Miller continues to be on a tear here for the Spartans.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where if the Spartan advantage in depth is going to start playing out, now is the time.
Miller now with 18 points, and the lead has been trimmed down to just 3. 6:15 to go, batted away by Miller. Comes right back to Bryce, though. And Markel Johnson back on the floor for NC State to calm things down. So the shot clock goes under 10. Johnson, ball in his hands.
Oh, good
into
hesitation.
The paint, kicks it out. 3 ball, they won't get it away.
Great job of defense that time. That's where the press took all 9.9 seconds in the backcourt. NC State didn't have enough time to get into their offense. Good, smart pressure from the Spartans. Shot clock turnover.
And again, this game playing out much like it did in the first
yes,
half.
It is.
Double-digit lead for the Pack. And UNCG comes clawing back. Miller tries a 3.
Oh, the roof would have blown off if he hit that one. Little step back 3. That's the next step in his game, though. That's the next step in his game. Getting that 3-point shot just solid.
5.5 left to play. 72-69 NC State. Here's Bryce with it. Bryce dribbled it off his foot. Langley on the deck. Beverly on the deck. They'll tie it up, or will they? Miller away with it. He'll challenge.
Got it. Spartans all over the floor. NC State starting to look around a little bit. Starting to wonder. Starting to think about it.
State gets it across the timeline, and they'll play on with under 5 to go.
Crowd on its feet. Murphy in the corner. Bradley in the corner.
Inside to Bates. And stripped away with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Bradley Beverly in the corner. Gonna look. He's looking for it. You know he wants to hit one.
Isaiah Miller wants a breather. He's gassed as he heads out. And Malik Massey will come in.
Got to get a quick one.
5 seconds on the shot clock. They'll lob it to Bates, right back to Johnson. He'll let it ride from 3. Dickey has the rebound.
Go get it. Deep. Great job by Abdul Salam forcing that ball screen defense, forcing him much higher than he wanted to go.
Well, with Isaiah Miller on the bench, where are you going to now? If you're the Spartans, chance to take the lead. Dickey, single covered. Helms is on his back. Dickey into the paint. Goes up, had it blocked. Up again, rimmed off. Abdul Salam powers it up and no good. Spartans attacking. 2 possessions to take the tie or take the lead and come up empty. 72-71. Johnson still with it. Swings it out to Beverly now.
Watch him coming off the ball screen with a 3. Hands up.
Johnson, shot clock under 10. Way out on the perimeter. Helms, got to get it up. 3 ball by Bryce.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot. I tell you what. That's strength against strength right there. You can't defend it any better. You can't have it hit a bigger shot.
Shot clock winding down, and C.J. Bryce, the redshirt senior, just gets it away with 1 tick left. We'll take you back a couple of years ago, UNCG on the road at NC State. And the Spartans, back in December of 2017, pull off the win 81-76. And the UNCG faithful wondering, can you get another one here? As Wes Miller scored the victory over Kevin Keats' club there. And here we stand at 75-71, and another opportunity for UNCG. 3:45 left. Now the Spartans had a couple possessions to take the lead. They were unable to convert. Bryce with the huge three. And Isaiah Miller back on the floor now. He'll be picked up full court by Bryce. Isaiah Miller with 20 points. They're looking for the lob. They got it!
The bench called it. The bench called it. Coach Keats' staff knew it was coming. It's one thing to know it from this side of the floor. Whole heck of a lot different that side of the floor.
2-point game. Johnson swings it to Beverly. Back out to Markel Johnson, who has Allegri on him now. Markel Johnson dancing with it. Wants some space. Gets by Allegri. Down the lane.
Good.
Big time
Good
finish.
Johnson, boy.
He might have hurt his knee, though, as he's clutching to his right leg.
Go to the benches. See what happened. What a take, though.
And Johnson, Kevin Keats, head coach of the Pack, will go over, and boy, as soon as Markel hit the deck, he just grabbed that right leg of his. And everyone quiet here inside the Coliseum with 2:56 left.
See what happens. Going in strong. Looks like he just kind of landed on it wrong. Kind of buckled a little bit.
And you see the concern on the faces of the Wolfpack players. And Johnson going to get to his feet.
He's walking it off. That's a good sign.
Good to see him pop up on his own.
Might have been just a little scarier. You never know. Coming down, hyperextending your leg like that can be scary. So maybe just, hopefully you can just walk it off. Be back in this game.
Johnson, who has 18 points for the Pack, 13 of those coming here in the second half. So back to a two-possession game here as we go under 3 minutes to play. Devin Daniels comes in for Johnson for NC State.
Trying to get Isaiah in a post-up.
Massey's going to drive it in, turns, high arcer is no good, and Daniels with some great hustle saves it.
Yeah, that's not what they wanted right there. Keep that offense turnover. Good defense from NC State denying Miller the ball. Spartans just going to reverse it and keep it going.
Price is going to keep the handle, and an offensive foul.
Again, another one. Again, that's a point of emphasis this year. That dribble handoff, reverse pivot, screen. Officials are looking for that call.
Coach Keats didn't like it. That's now 17 fouls on NC State.
He never stops. He never stops, kind of sticks his shoulder there. That's just going to coach that differently. I like the action. It's going to coach the execution a little differently to adjust to this emphasis.
2:15 left. 4-point game. Miller coming off the ball. Beverly will deny him. Dickey goes to Massey. Dickey will turn. Help defense comes over, out to Isaiah. He'll try a three. Rimmed out. Rebound down to NC State.
I think Isaiah could have made one more pass that time. Galloway was right next to him.
So NC State gets another stop on the defensive end. Daniels loops it to the corner to Bates. Finds a cutting Bryce. Missed the layup. Spartans will run. Miller with it. Fakes it. Goes up. And will head to the line.
That time might have gotten away with a little baby push on this side of the floor. Isaiah going all the way. Try to get to the free throw line now. He's going to knock him down. Maybe a little push. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Here comes Isaiah in transition.
Definitely foul there. That's what he wanted. Now he's going to knock these down.
Well, Miller 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He's a 39% free throw shooter on the season, but has seemingly solved the riddle here today.
Well, you got a shooter's roll there. I'll definitely take it.
Markel Johnson
Good to see him back on the floor.
Back on the floor for the Pack. And Isaiah now with a chance to cut this lead down to 2, which he does. Miller now with 24 points.
No fouls, no fouls.
Spartans with 4 team fouls. They can be aggressive, I guess, if they want.
Yep.
Johnson still with it. Miller pressing out on him. Shot clock under 10. Johnson turns the corner, forces it up, missed it. Dickey with the rebound.
Oh!
And Bryce ripped it away from Miller there, and a timeout at the NC State bench.
Great help side defense, just even better play from Bryce that time, getting right back into the action.
Well, C.J. Bryce, who hit the big 3 moments ago, and then alertly reaches in as the outlet pass went to Miller, and he was turning the other way. And here we go with 1:04 left.
There's a great play from Bryce that time. You can see good help from a leg race, straight up and down. Good rebound, Dickey, but Bryce doesn't give up on it. Gets right back into it, and a great timeout from Coach Keats. Get it under control, set something up, get a good set here. If they score here, it really puts the pressure on the Spartans.
1:04 left, and we bring up the fouls with 4 team fouls on the Spartans, so you can afford to be aggressive defensively if you want. Maybe take a risk out on the perimeter. We'll see how the Spartans will play it here. NC State.
You figure State's going to try to, I don't want to say milk the clock, but don't force any action before they have to.
Bryce, Johnson, Beverly, Bates, and Helms, 5 on the floor in red. Bates uncomfortable with it right there. They're denying Johnson the basketball, and a timeout.
Great pressure,
at
great
the NC
pressure.
State bench.
Great Spartan pressure that time. Isaiah is not going to make this easy.
And an alert timeout for Kevin Keats, who's right in front of us, and he saw that was disaster waiting to happen maybe.
Well, you bring up a great point on the fouls, which means basically for those two in particular, Dickey and Miller, who for the most part this time of the game usually have some kind of foul trouble, so they have to play a little tentative. They can go all out at this point and cause the havoc we know they can.
2-point game here with 58 seconds left. If you're NC State, who you're trying to get the ball to?
Well, you try to get Williams the ball at the top of the key because he's had it, but you know that Bryce isn't going to be too far away. To give him the ball, a little clear out. Basically, I'd figure out who Isaiah Miller's not guarding. Between those two, give him the ball, let him go. Don't want to oversimplify it, but sometimes it's just about matchups. You know, that's what they do in the league. It's about getting the matchup you want and making it happen.
Well, Bryce has been solid all game long for NC State, and Markel Johnson as well. Pack will make a substitution and bring DJ Funderburk onto the floor. He'll sub in for Bates. Spartans have their starting 5 unit there as Helms will inbound it. He'll just throw it into the backcourt here to Beverly as Massey will press out on him.
They bring Funderburk in for offensive rebounding.
Beverly being hawked by Massey, now over to Bryce. Bryce picks up his dribble, and now Markel Johnson comes to grab it. Shot clock at 5. Johnson heaves a 3 off the mark. Massey has the rebound.
Good decision not to throw it. He thought about it for a half a second. Wasn't clean enough. Good decision.
Spartans will play on here. About 6 seconds separate game clock and shot clock. Miller has it. He'll draw a screen. Now back to Galloway for the lead. Missed it. Allegre offensive rebound. And last touched by NC State with 13.5 seconds left.
You know, when Galloway shot that ball, Coach Keats kicked the air. Galloway a little off balance, a little deep that time, kind of twisted. Didn't get a clean look. If he was square, that was going in.
Isaiah Miller a little shaken up his lower leg, and they're going to review this to see who it went off. Good look by Galloway.
could tell it wasn't quite balanced.
Got it, and then looks like Beverly poked it out of Allegri's hands.
Yep. Got to take a look at it now. You got replay, might as well use it. But definitely Spartan ball.
Well, you got 13.5 seconds left. Isaiah Miller has 24 points. 19 coming here in the second half. Get another look just to be sure. Big time rebound by Allegri. And then just looks like Beverly poked it away.
It's a tough spot to inbound it, though, in that dead corner.
It will be UNCG basketball now. For NC State, they have 8 team fouls. Any foul will have free throws for the Spartans.
One timeout left for the Spartans. They may need it here. Need some good screens on this action. Got to make some contact, get guys open. Coach Isaiah's trying to get the crowd up.
And you see that tough spot there in the corner for Massey to inbound it.
This is a situation where Isaiah's got to be playmaker.
Massey looking. Here's Galloway. Can't get the ball inbounds.
Timeout. It's a tough place to inbound it.
Well, it's hard to get an angle from right there. You almost have half of the floor shut off to you. And Coach Miller.
Because it's not quite side out of bounds. It's not quite out of bounds underneath. It's in between. You don't have, caddy corner out of bounds plays.
So both teams will huddle up here and.
Knowing Coach Miller, you know what I think he's going to do? He's going to draw something up to throw it right to the rim. Let's cut all the middleman out and throw it right to the rim.
If you're NC State, you figure the Pack are going to do their best to keep the ball out of Isaiah Miller's hands at all costs here.
That's where everyone else, if Isaiah gets the ball, everyone else hands up, move their feet, get in a good shooting position, because every red jersey is going to collapse on him if he's got the ball. Someone else got to be ready to step up.
Some anxious moments for the Wolfpack faithful that made the trip. We saw them in red there, and it's been a gold out here in the Coliseum. A lot of gold and smattering of red around, and a great crowd and
really a well-played game. I mean, however this ends, this last 14 seconds go, both sides really got to feel good about playing how they've played in this Coliseum. Great game to watch.
Spartans will have Massey inbounding again. Dickey, Galloway, Allegri, and Isaiah Miller, the 5 on the floor for the Spartans. Bryce on the ball defensively. Massey gets the ball to Miller. He's going to back it out now. 10 left to play. Miller into the paint. Gathers himself. Goes up. Rolls in!
Get back on D now. Spartans got burnt with a last-second shot before.
2 seconds left. Johnson heaves it.
Oh,
and he made it!
One. Not another one. You got to be kidding me.
Markel Johnson at the buzzer. And they'll count it.
Oh, that stings. That's twice this year for the Spartans. Did everything right.
Look again here. Isaiah Miller turns, gets the roll.
Now everyone's getting back. You can see, everyone knows the defense is set.
2 seconds left.
I mean, you can't,
and
Massey was there.
Markel Johnson hits the game winner.
Massey was right there, challenged your shot as good as you can. You can't guard it better than that.
Well, you're referencing the Montana State game where it was Isaiah Miller down the stretch, put the Spartans up, and then Montana State hit a shot from the same location, three-quarters court, to win it at the buzzer, and it plagues the Spartans again. Heck of a ball game here in the Greensboro Coliseum, and Markel Johnson hits one, and the Pack escape as they win it here by 3.
Wow. Well-played game, both sides. Spartans aren't going to want to hear it, but nothing to hang their head about. because NC State, they may not have the top recruiting classes like Duke and Carolina, but they're going to be a tough out every single time on the floor in the ACC. Spartans should feel proud.
Markel Johnson hits the game winner as the clock expires, and NC State wins it here 80-77. For our entire crew, good night here from Greensboro.